The experts of tomorrow in a world that wants more and more specialists. There seem to be more and more students and more subjects. Here's a very far-out student indeed. So far out that no one will teach him, even though he's intelligent and persevering. So far out that he must do his own studying. Philosophy, eh? A blind man in a dark room looking for a black cat that isn't there, some philosopher said. Still. Hey! The book he borrowed was by the philosopher Proudhon, who made a famous remark. Property is theft. Of course, Proudhon didn't mean just anyone could redistribute property. But that's what this student wants to do. He's studying to be a redistributor of property. His philosophy is that what's other people's is his. But for the moment, philosophy takes place at the end of the shelf. Now there is, forever closed to redistributors, a sort of university where this subject is studied from the other side, the inside. Of course, you don't find a dean of metallurgy pacing the lawns with a professor of locksmithery. This is just a couple of the boys messing up a game of bowls on the sports ground. But if there were such a thing as a degree in heavy security, Chubb's at Wolverhampton would be the place to study for it. Well, no time to lose, it's a big syllabus. First of all, there's metallurgy. It's tough on a redistributor, but you're up against men who really know about metal there in the heart of the metalworking Midlands of Britain. Metal's pretty basic after all. The civilizations of man take their names from progress in metal technique. The Bronze Age, the Iron Age, and now the Steel Age. The ancient Chinese thought that metal was a mysterious concentration of the Earth's power and life. When they started a new furnace, they used to put a human embryo in it to replace the life they had taken from the Earth. It's some time since they stopped doing this at Wolverhampton. But they do know what they're at. Here they're casting the Chubb secret material, which gives the Chubb safe its anti-redistributor properties. This material is the tough bone of a safe. The flesh that clothes it is steel. And Chubbs know all about steel, too. Skilled hands are still better than machines for getting the flatness required. Although anyone else bashing it in that casual-looking way would simply make it curl somewhere else. Plenty of machines now to bend it into complicated shapes, still in one piece to make a really strong body and to stop the redistributor doing his job. This is the 12th bend in this piece, and that's half a safe made. Already the shape is apparent. You're going to find redistribution a tough subject, real second-year stuff for the outsiders. But you can study for 30 years outside, and Chubb's flame and drill-resisting material will still be a secret. Here's a factory test with a drill of much greater power than anything the redistributor is likely to have. It goes through the thin outer steel covering, but it won't penetrate the material more than a fraction of an inch. Well, third-year stuff, then. All right, you asked for it. The material is flame-resisting, too. We're looking at a flame-cutting test. The oxyacetylene flame travels first over steel, then over Chubb material of only half the thickness. Seen from the side, the flame goes right through the steel and sparks fly from the bottom of the cut. But the Chubb material is absolutely impenetrable. There's hardly a mark on it afterwards. You're not through the syllabus yet. You only want poetry and music as well, and you'll know everything, like Leonardo da Vinci. Yes, you're right. Building does come into it. It's no good having a strong door in weak walls. Chubb build entire strong rooms from the ground up, or down. They strengthen the concrete with this special steel strip called tang bar. Sounds like an exotic South American dance or a drinking spot in a seaside hotel, but actually it's redoubtable stuff. Perhaps a redistributor might get a look at some if he pretended to be an artist, because one artist really did scrounge a bit and made this. He called it the unknown redistributor. With all that steel and metal, you want the brute strength of a giant. But when it comes to locks, you'll need the cunning precision of a watchmaker. Love may laugh at locksmiths, but locksmiths can certainly afford to laugh at redistributors. The lock is the brain of security, the intelligence in a massive steel body. And the lock shop is where the brains take shape. Here's a detector lock, a refined version of the one invented by the first Chubb in 1818. If the redistributor attacks it with a pick or false key, the detector clicks up and jams there, and can only be released by the right key turned the other way. These locksmiths don't only have special brains, they even have unique fingers. This is Locksmith's finger, bent through years of holding locks. So. They are ingenious fellows with hundreds of variations on the theme of locks. And here's something with 100 million variations. A combination lock. Working a 40-hour week, taking a minute for each attempt, a redistributor could only be certain of getting it open after 801 years, 14 weeks, 26 hours, and 4 minutes. The Guardian lock, used in safe deposits, can only be opened by two separate and, of course, differing keys. One held by the custodian, and the other by the renter. So it's no use the redistributor pinching your key, unless he's someone who could make a better living as an impersonator. You can't see the tang bar in the walls of a big safe deposit, but you can see the door. The brain of this monster isn't proportionately bigger than the lock of an ordinary door. But it secures these bolts which slide both ways, so it's no good for the redistributor to attack the hinges. A strong room door can also have a time lock, so that even if the redistributor does a job with a blunt instrument on the man with the key, He can't open it until the predetermined time runs out. No, apart from the mere look of the finished product, its actual planned strength is enough to daunt a platoon of redistributors, let alone one. There's only one course left. If you can't drill it, can't cut it, and can't pick the lock, you can always try real violence. Blow it up. Smash it down. Use real force, with the kind of jelly you don't see at children's parties. Of course, the placing of explosives is a skilled and tricky business. You need time for it. Know what he's done? Set off the Chubb anti-explosive device, that's all. After a shock like that, it makes a door more locked than ever. Yes, more locked than ever. You've failed your practical. No, not here. You won't find the redistributor here. This is a fire and fall test at Chubb's, under scientific conditions, of a fire-resisting cabinet. Just how fire-resisting you can see. been heated, dropped from a height of 30 feet, and then heated again. You'd better get a move on. We're only entertaining the customers until you get to the redistributor. And even with the shelves displaced, the papers are unsinged. It isn't only knowledge that Chubbs have on their side, it's time. But of course, there's plenty of time for a redistributor behind these prison gates. As a matter of fact, these have Chubb locks too. So having kept him out, they now keep him in. All his study was in vain. But he has learned that steal is not only a verb, it's a noun. Redistributors are ingenious and determined chaps. Who knows? One of them might even get into the privileged audience that sees this film. But he won't have seen a fraction of Chubb's secrets. And it's no good his trying his luck abroad, because Chubb are all over the world.